So this is three tight ends I'm looking to buy this week, and the first guy is Darren Waller of the Las Vegas Raiders. Waller, he's a big part of this offense, but last week he had a down ball game, only his second bad game of the season in fantasy, with 6 targets, 5 catches for 28 yards. But besides that, this guy, he's a guaranteed 15 to 20 points every week in PPR leagues, and last week was a fluke, in my opinion, versus the Browns. The weather was bad, the wind was howling out there, and Waller, he could get the job done most weeks for you, and he's definitely now a top 2 or 3 tight end with George Kittle, broken foot, out for the year. So Kittle, if you have him, off topic here, you go drop him. But yeah, also if you have Kittle, go and try to trade Waller. In one of my leagues last week, I don't know if you guys saw the video, trades I saw in my leagues this week. But anyway, someone traded David Johnson for Waller, and that's a great get, and that's a trade you're trying to do. A number 2 to 3 running back for a top 3, 4 tight end, that's a trade you try to do. Is a Johnson for Waller. So this week, try to go out there and execute a trade along those lines. The next guy I'm looking to buy is Hunter Henry. His value might be lower now after coming off of 2 dud performances with Henry. In week 7, he had 5.3 versus a weak Jacksonville team in a matchup that you thought he would go off. And then this week in week 8, he only had 7 for 4 catches, 33 yards. Henry, you know he's going to get the volume. You know he's a good tight end. The only problem with him is the injury. But that Justin Herbert's in there. You know Henry, he's going to get looks. With Tyrod Taylor, no one I thought really had value on this Charger team. Now with Herbert in there, you got 4 or 5 guys with great value. Henry's a good buy low candidate going into the week. He's got Vegas, Miami, and the Jets coming up. His buy's over, so his outlook's going to look good. He just had 2 dud games. He'll be fine. This guy is a tight end that could get you anywhere from 10 to 15 points a week. So Hunter Henry, definitely go out there and get him before your trade deadlines are up in fantasy football. And the third and final guy I'm looking to trade for this week is TJ Hawkins. This guy is the definition of consistent for the tight end position. His worst game this year was 9.30, and this is going on PPR week, so he's a guaranteed 10 to 13 points every week. And now with Kenny Golladay out, he's going to get way more targets in that offense and be that big red zone target also for Matthew Stafford. And he had 10 targets versus the Colts, and Golladay was out most of that game. So TJ Hawkinson, you might have to pay a little more to get him than these other guys I just mentioned, but he's definitely worth it. He might be his team's number 1 target, especially if Marvin Jones gets traded today at the trade deadline. We'll see what happens with a few of these guys, if anyone's going to get traded in the NFL and their fantasy impacts. But anyway, Jones traded or not, Hawkinson's a guy you should go out there and try to get. You're going to have to give up, like I said, a little bit to get him, but he's definitely worth it. This guy's a top 4 or 5 tight end, hands down, especially with Kittle down now too. He's going to be up there reaching every week. And like I said, his worst game's 9.30, and that's stellar for especially a very weak tight end position. This guy's Mr. Consistency. So that's 3 tight ends I'm going out there, and I'm trying to get heading into week 9.